Welcome to DFS Coach Talk. It is Saturday, October 17th, 2020. I'm Andrew Hansen alongside Shane Caldwell, and it's an exciting podcast for us, Shane. First time we're going position by position for the main slate, breaking it up into smaller podcasts this week. So it's all quarterbacks here all the time.
Yeah, you guys, viewers will be able to take a look at each position, some quick hit videos, narrow down all our research to a few select plays that we think are the most optimal plays at each position. So that'll be a lot easier for people out there building their lineups and finalizing their builds on Sunday morning. So we're really excited about this format to make it quicker for you.
Definitely. So let us know on YouTube what you think of the format. Give us feedback. We'd love to hear from you. And please do like and subscribe on YouTube so you get the notifications when the other podcast post. We've got the quarterback video now, then we're going to do the running back video, then tight ends and wide receivers. And of course, we have our separate primetime show where we break down the Sunday night game and the two Monday night games for you. So 4 videos coming up. We're excited to do it for you and thankful to our presenting sponsor, betus.com.pa. Go to their website and use the promo code CoachTalk, all one word, and you get a 125% deposit match on your first deposit. So betus.com.pa. Love them as partners. Thank you for their support. All right, Shane, with the quarterbacks in week 6, starting near the top of the pricing, who are you targeting up top?
Yeah, I think I'm going right back to Deshaun Watson for the Houston Texans here. Kind of interesting, this matchup. They're going to Tennessee, but Tennessee played on that crazy Tuesday night, let's call it COVID Tuesday night football game, right? So you think about that. I mean, that's a short rest for Tennessee. So it's almost kind of like a Thursday night game for them, except for Houston played on Sunday. So they have a longer break. So you kind of like that for really the entire offense in terms of having an advantage in terms of rest here and being healthier. And I really like Deshaun Watson. He looked really great. Watched this game last week. And I just like his movement in the pocket, his ability to create plays off script. And I like his wide receivers. I think he's really starting to connect with, Brandon Cooks. You've seen that last week. Will Fuller still looks great. The tight ends look good. I mean, I think he just has a ton of weapons out there. I mean, he still has Kenny Stills. He has, Randall Cobb. He's just got weapons galore. Plus, he can still run the ball as well. You have rushing upside. So really, Deshaun Watson's a guy that I'm willing to pay up for. Tennessee should be able to score on them. They are underdogs here, but it's a high-scoring affair, and he should be able to pass a ton. And I don't think Tennessee secondary is that great. When I was looking at their schedule, of course, they had an early bye week due to COVID. They played quarterbacks like Drew Lock, in week 1. They played Jacksonville and Gardner Minshew. It's not great. Then they played Minnesota, who doesn't really like to pass the ball that much and just wants to run on you, right? So they haven't really faced that much. Josh Allen still put up decent fantasy points, even though he had a horrendous game and turned the ball over. He just looked really bad. But I think that the secondary can be had here, and I love the matchup. So you'll see a lot of Houston plays that I like this week. So Deshaun Watson's my first quarterback that I love to go to. I think he's cash in GPP viable, and he's great. It's a great game you can stack together as well here.
Yeah, over under on BetUS is 53.5. And I like your call there on the short rest for the Tennessee defenders. Good point. All right. First guy I'm going to mention in that higher price tier is Big Ben Roethlisberger against Cleveland. At home, they are 30th against the pass. And on that week preview show that we did on Thursday, we were talking about this over under 51. And it seemed a little high to me, but the more and more I think about it, looking back to what happened last year, that fiasco with Myles Garrett, I think Pittsburgh's going to be extremely motivated. We've seen Big Ben just light folks up for huge games, over 400 yards. Pittsburgh, they enjoy the rushing attack, but they do like to throw it when Big Ben's playing. So I think there's a good chance that he throws it a ton, and they try to just put one on Cleveland. So I'm looking at Big Ben here and hoping that he's not quite as highly owned as some of these other quarterbacks with the games with totals over 50, who I do like, and we're going to talk about a few more of them. But Big Ben is one of the leading candidates for me this week.
Awesome. Yeah, and then I'm going to go to one of my second favorite quarterbacks, who's coming back after a little bit of a layoff, also kind of a COVID situation, is Cam Newton. Cam Newton has been very impressive as a thrower, this year in terms of really throwing the ball down the field with accuracy, intermediate and deep passes, short passes. He just looks great in this offense, and I love the design run plays for him. So he's going to be fresh coming off this layoff. He hasn't really shown much symptoms or really from his COVID outbreak here, so he hasn't really shown any issues there. He's going up against Denver, who's been pretty weak. He's at home against Denver. Pretty weak defense now. They lost a lot of their best players. So he can attack them through the running game and the passing game. I don't know if I'm going to stack a lot. I mean, there are a couple guys that we're looking at from New England that could be good, but I think I could see Cam Newton having a big game here and New England blowing them out, and the main reason being Cam Newton. And I also like that he's pretty much like their goal line back. I know they have like a lot of running backs, but Cam Newton is pretty much their goal line back when they're at full strength. So I think because of his rushing upside here, I really like Cam Newton, and I like him as a passer this year as well. And I kind of like the fact that he's been off for so long, so people kind of forgot about him because he hasn't played in a few weeks. So I think Cam Newton's in a great spot here, and it's another guy you can pay up for, and I think he's viable in cash and GPP as well.
All right. Next two guys I'm going to look at are in the same game. It's the Minnesota and Atlanta matchup with the over-under set at 54. I'm looking for this game to be a shootout. So looking at Matt Ryan and Kirk Cousins, I like Kirk Cousins a little bit better because he's at home, he's cheaper, and Atlanta is just awful against the pass. So I know Minnesota doesn't really want to pass it that much. They love to run the ball, but it's just an excellent matchup. I like his price tag, so I will have some exposure to Cousins. And then Matt Ryan bringing it back. I'm going to have to get him in at least one GPP. He's got Julio back, so now he's finally at full strength, and that's crippling for that Atlanta offense when they don't have Julio out there. So, now it's he can look throughout the whole field. Ridley, Julio, Gurley's been solid out of the backfield. So he's got. You talk about Watson having all kinds of weapons. Ryan has plenty of weapons to get it done. So I like both of those quarterbacks, and what I'm hoping is a shootout.
Yeah, that's a great game to target. We love that game, and if you can get the quarterbacks in that game, yeah, that's a good place to go to. Next quarterback that I like is Ryan Fitzpatrick, or I like to call Fitzmagic. This guy's just, the best way I could describe it, this guy has swagger on the field, and he's just dropping dimes. I mean, his accuracy is impressive. His ability to throw his wide receivers wide open to help them make contested catches, his timing and rhythm in this offense, just the way he's commanding it. And he has a little bit of rushing upside as well. For a guy that's pretty old, he can actually still move a little bit. So I just really love him with Devontae Parker being completely healthy and Preston Williams looking great and Gesicki out there running around. He can drop the ball off to the running backs. Ryan Fitzpatrick going against the New York Jets, probably the worst team in the NFL right now. They have to go down there to Miami. And I think this is just an absolute blowout for Miami. Again, I seen Ryan Fitzpatrick, watched him shred the San Francisco 49ers, who are obviously a better team than the Jets. But he really carved them up with not even having to throw that much, really. So I look at Fitzpatrick as a huge kind of upside game here. And even if the Jets don't really keep it close, I think the Jets can score a little bit because it's not like Miami has an elite defense. But I think Fitzpatrick will just keep pouring it on and get a lot of production, and expect even better red zone production from here, and maybe even a rushing touchdown, as he's another guy that likes to run inside the 5-yard line. And they actually have, once in a while, they'll have a design run play for him. And I just love him scrambling up the middle. He's the type of guy that can get 30 or 40 rushing yards. That's like almost like an extra touchdown pass in terms of point production. So, and of course, he's a little bit cheaper. You can get him at DraftKings at 5,900, for example. It's a pretty good value to me. And you can stack him up with his weapons he has. And you can also run it back and run some game stacks. So Ryan Fitzpatrick, definitely one of my favorite quarterbacks this week. And I think he's definitely a great price and a great value in a nice spot here.
Yeah, 4 out of 5 games for Fitzpatrick this year. He's gone over 25 fantasy points on DraftKings. It's almost like he knows he's trying to pay that price tag off, so he'll run it into the end zone, like you said, if he hasn't thrown it through the air. So he's been awesome in 4 out of 5 weeks and great matchup. So great option there in GPPs. And the final guy I'll mention here is Matthew Stafford, 6,300 on DraftKings going up against Jacksonville. They're not good against the pass. Over under set at 54.5. So I like that spot a lot. And Stafford's your guy. This is Mr. Detroit Sports Shane on Twitter, DET Sports Shane. That's where you can follow Shane. You can find me at Language Olympic. You can find all of us at DFS Coach Talk, and our fearless leader, the coach, is at JOESARVADI. So we'd love to interact with you there. And then we offer memberships. So go to our website, dfscoachtalk.com, pick up a weekly, monthly, annual membership, or the winter special, which we just released, that gives you membership all the way through the Super Bowl, and it gives you access to all of our other sports, PGA, NBA, MLB, and we give out full lineups on FanDuel. We give out a cash lineup, a GPP lineup. We give out the coach's clipboard on DraftKings with core plays and pivots. So we invite you to come in. Just go to dfscoachtalk.com, grab one of those memberships. We'll get you right into our Discord, and we give out the lineups about 45 minutes before kickoff on Sunday. So love to have you. Thank you for all of your support. Make sure to tune in to the running back show and then the wide receiver and tight end matchup, as well as our primetime show. So we're going to continue rolling through the podcast tonight, and hope you'll tune in with us as we look to crush it in DFS.
Wake up, sports bettors. Sports are in high gear at BetUS.com, so put down the beer and make every sporting event more exciting by putting stakes on the line at BetUS. Earn bragging rights over your friends as you rake in the cash from each week's betting action. But don't settle for any other book. Choose America's favorite sportsbook with over 25 trusted years in the industry, BetUS. You need a sportsbook with integrity and longevity, but more importantly, you need a sportsbook that pays. BetUS has your game with action on football, baseball, basketball, MMA, golf, horse racing, and even esports. No other sportsbook welcomes newcomers like BetUS with their jaw-dropping sign-up bonuses. Sign up now with promo code CoachTalk for 125% sign-up bonus up to $2,000. The best in the biz. Now you have the best book in the business with the best DFS provider in the business, Coach Talk. Create your account to make point spread bets, futures bets, prop bets, entertainment bets, live bets, and more. No other sportsbook is as committed to their members as BetUS. Sign up now and get in on the winning side of the ball.